let's work with Flash SWF files right within a Windows Form application. That's what we have here, just a default application. We'll scroll down in our toolbox and see that I have a Shockwave Flash object and a Shockwave Director control. Now to get that in your system, you need to right-click anywhere within the toolbox and add and remove items. These are actually COM components, not .NET Framework components. COM is the older way of working, but still quite the established way of working. So we'll scroll down and find our Shockwave. For Director, you can see the path within our System32 folder, and this is the Flash. So we want both selected there. We'll hit OK, and then we can work with it. We'll just drag it out, make this larger, and you can resize your Flash as you need to. Right-click for Properties, and we'll give it a background color of black, 6 zeros, and normally you would have Show All, so you show the whole animation, the size of the animation for scaling. We're going to use Exact Fit because we're going to reduce the size, half of the size of the entire application because we want it to fit within our Windows form, and we'll turn quality to best, and you could adjust other properties as well. We'll hit OK. Now we'll just create some buttons here so we can create some interactivity. You could draw your button if you wanted to, or just click once to have the default size. And we'll just align things up nicely. And then we'll name our buttons in the properties. Picking the text property, play, stop, and then we have exit. So now we need to make sure the size of the control here is what we want. We'll come down and find the size property. We can put 360 by 240, which is what we want. And now we just need to program, write the code for this. Really simple. In our normal constructor for our form, as usual, we're going to paste some code that I have in the clipboard. We're just going to create a string variable, and we're going to assign it the system.environment.current directory, which is the directory of our application, which is a nice quick way to get that path to our application. And then we're going to just append the / and then the SWF file name. Very easy. And then we just need to use the default name, which is, this is our object name, default name. You'll get used to it. And you can name it to whatever you want to, as long as you name that control as well. We're going to use the normal load movie method, and 0 is the default here. This is going to load it into the first level, the root level. If you're not familiar with Flash, always use a 0, and then that path to that file. You could play it as well, but we'll save that for the buttons. It's commented. I'll just copy that. Go back to our form. We'll double click on our play button here so we can create that click handler, and then we'll just paste. And you can see we're just going to play there. We'll double click on the stop, do the same thing. This time we'll change it to stop. And then for the exit, we'll put in our normal exit command. So we're all set, just like that. Now what we can do is we can build our solution, or build the Flash project. And the output here, succeeded. We'll go to our folder structure, copy the SWF files because they need to follow that exe. Bin, debug, paste them here, and then we'll play our Flash project. And as you can see, we can stop and play. Very nice and very easy. Now I'll show you something else as well. If we double click back to change that file name, we'll change it to the other file name, EE, which is the full application, and then we'll rebuild. It succeeded again. Go back to our folder, double click. Now we're playing the full Flash, the full site. And then you can actually click on it and interact with Flash as you would any other Flash animation. And you can control it as you need to. Again, since it's a smaller size, it might not look the way you want it to, so you want to have it show all. And the play and stop aren't going to work necessarily because this is interactive where we're working with different buttons. The timeline is stopped here, so it's not actually playing like a normal animation. But you have different controls that you can work with. You can work with your Flash right within the application.